is Hanrich and I'm originally South African. And I left South Africa about 13, 14 years ago, and I've worked many places in the world: Saudi Arabia, China, Austria last. And we moved to Orlando about 5.5 years ago, and we've been very happy being part of the community here in Orlando ever since. I'm a cellist. The last thing I did kind of before leaving South Africa was playing in the Cape Philharmonic. And then after that, around the world, I've been teaching and playing, and then eventually kind of got into the conducting gig. So yeah, I conduct. I'm music director for the Florida Symphony Youth Orchestra. I love working with the community and the unbelievably talented students we have at FSYO. That said, I always love kind of balancing my life between educating and conducting with also a lot of playing. And so I've had this fantastic opportunity to with Andreas, start the Fernwood Quartet. So we've been doing quite a few very exciting projects over the last 2 years. And I'm also part of the Alterity ensemble. We love playing new music specifically, and that's why this project is so exciting to me as well, to just be part of it and have the honor of playing all these works for the Central Florida Composers Forum. Really such exciting music that we get to really dig our teeth into. I think probably the most prominent thing is the intimacy of chamber music. It's just so amazing. I mean, when you stand in front of an orchestra, it's immense power, I guess, if you want to say that. But it's just very different. It's like, having many pots in something in the oven as well, and trying to balance all of that, versus chamber music is a little bit more concentrated, like just cooking one dish. And so it's exciting for me playing chamber music, the ability one has to really communicate with just a few people that's in your ensemble. And I mean, string quartet playing is such a unique beast. There's so many wonderful things that you can do in a string quartet because of the timbre of the string instruments, matching and tone colors that one can create, and the matching of vibrato, and all of those things are also what kind of makes quartet playing a beast, because it's typically pretty hard to really develop a relationship with your ensemble players and really reach a level where you can, match things with just looking at one of your quartet partners. I mean, I think one approaches it in the same way, or at least I do. The difference being that we're just, by how we are educated in what we do, we've gotten to know kind of how to play Mozart and Beethoven and Brahms and all of that way better than we know how to play a living composer's music sometimes. There's just a lot more challenges as far as like patterns. With Mozart and Beethoven, a lot of times, there's really established patterns and things that you do, and you just know how to do it. You were taught how to do it, and we've got lots of experience doing that, which is not always the case with a new composer, specifically if you don't have the option of talking to them and kind of knowing where their minds were when they were composing it. With a new composer, if there's really a passage that you feel just doesn't suit the instrument or you or the group or whatever, you can actually phone them up and say, listen, do you have another idea here, something that might work better? Or what we've also done is saying like, hey, I have a better idea that I think is going to be similar in effect to what you wrote here. How about it? Which is a really nice and interesting interaction that one can actually have when you play live composers' music. there is some very difficult ensemble music within the program that we are presenting in January. Um, Not only technically, but like I say, ensemble-wise, some of the works have a lot of kind of new ideas out there, in the sense that, you know, each quartet player might be doing something completely different to a different tempo and time and concept, and at some stage all of us kind of have to match up again, and it's been really hard to sometimes just experiment with so many kind of possibilities, and then somehow find a way where we can know that at some stage we're going to be able to find each other amongst all the notes. So that's been really hard, just to adjust to different concepts of how you look at time and tempo. And of course, there's some passages and things in some of the parts that are just technically super hard, and we've really had to go sit down and just practice. There's definitely, I think, so much of the program that's very accessible to a broader audience. There is just lovely soaring melodies. There are some really interesting effects in some of the pieces that are just really cool to just see live happening in front of you. I mean, I think that's one of the things that we've also been missing so much, right? Is in live music being able to also interact with the musicians on stage and actually see how they are producing the sounds that are coming out. And I think this program, there's a lot of interesting things that the audience will be able to look at and wow at, I hope.